Hello there, I'm Deborah, and I have a question for you. Have you ever found yourself reaching for a snack, not because you're hungry, but because you're stressed, upset, angry, or just bored? That's what we call emotional eating. Today we'll talk about emotional eating and what causes it, and most importantly, how to take control of it. Without further ado, let's dive into understanding the term emotional eating. It's a term we often hear, but what does it really mean? Emotional eating is when we use food as a way to handle our emotions instead of eating just to satisfy physical hunger. It's like reaching for a pint of ice cream when you're down or ordering a pizza because you're stressed. It's about feeding your feelings, not your body. Now, what's the difference between emotional eating and physical hunger? Well, physical hunger builds gradually and can be satisfied with almost any type of food, healthy or not. The hunger disappears when you're full, while emotional hunger hits suddenly. You start craving specific comfort foods, usually high in sugar, salt, or fat, and it doesn't stop even when you're full. So what triggers this emotional hunger? The common causes include emotional triggers. For example, stress, and it's a big one. When we're stressed, our bodies release a hormone called cortisol, which can increase our appetite and cravings for comfort food, such as foods you get a quick fix from, a temporary burst of pleasure, and eventually they become appealing choices for stress relief. Next, there's emotional suppression, facing emotions like anger, sadness, anxiety. And that's when we often turn to eating as a way to avoid confronting these feelings. Eating comfort foods can distract and temporarily numb us from the emotional discomfort. What about boredom or emptiness? Well, eating can become a way to fill time or a perceived void in our lives, especially when we lack purpose or feel unfulfilled. Childhood experiences can also play a role. Think about your childhood. Was food ever used as a reward or as a tool to soothe negative feelings? These are early experiences that can also set the stage for emotional eating in adulthood. All right, now that we've explored what emotional eating is and how to differentiate it from physical hunger, let's explore its impact on health and mental well-being. Emotional eating, when it becomes a primary coping mechanism, can lead to an unhealthy cycle. The person doesn't address the real problems or emotion, but starts to seek immediate relief, which in this case is turning to food for a quick pleasure hit. At that moment, it brings you the feeling of temporary relief. However, it's also followed by guilt and further emotional distress. Over time, this cycle can contribute to mental health struggles ranging from low self-esteem to anxiety and depression. Since emotional eating usually leads to overeating high calorie and unhealthy foods, this can contribute to weight gain and obesity. Such dietary habits can also lead to various health issues, including heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure. As you can see, emotional eating is a complex issue with far-reaching physical and emotional consequences. But as we explore further, we'll learn how to identify these triggers, and even more importantly, how to manage them. Now, let's take a moment before we move forward. If you're finding this video helpful and it's resonating with you, why not join our growing community? Subscribe to Healthnews channel, and let's continue uncovering more health topics together. All right, it's about time we learn how to recognize emotional hunger and distinguish it from physical hunger. This know-how is crucial in attempting to break the cycle of emotional eating. So here are some signs to look for. Number 1, sudden hunger. Emotional hunger can often strike unexpectedly and urgently, usually in response to an emotional trigger. Unlike physical hunger, which develops over time, emotional hunger can make you feel like you need to eat something immediately, no matter when you last ate. Number 2, craving specific foods. Emotional hunger typically craves specific comfort foods, while physical hunger is often open to various options, including healthy ones. Number 3, mindless eating. Emotional eating often leads to eating without much thought, even when you're not hungry. Number 4, eating past fullness. With emotional eating, you may continue eating even when you're full. This is because emotional eating is less about satisfying your physical needs and more about trying to fulfill emotional needs. And number 5, physical sensations. Physical hunger is characterized by sensations like stomach emptiness, growling, or gnawing. These sensations develop slowly and are satisfied after eating, disappearing once you reach fullness. Emotional hunger, on the other hand, may mimic physical sensations in the stomach, but often feels more like anxiety. Distinguishing emotional hunger from physical hunger is really important because it helps you to get one step closer to a healthier relationship with food. Another thing that I really want to talk with you about is just self-awareness, because it is the foundation for understanding and changing emotional eating behaviors. It involves just being conscious of your eating habits, emotions, and the triggers that lead to the emotional eating. Self-awareness allows you to pause, reflect on your feelings, choosing a healthier response. Remember, self-awareness is a skill that grows stronger with practice. Since it's crucial to explore effective strategies for overcoming it, we prepared the list of steps to break free from the cycle of emotional eating. All right, step 1, identify your emotional triggers. Keep a journal to note when and why you turn to food for emotional comfort. Use it to capture your feelings and the events of your day. Write down those moments when you find yourself in the kitchen, not because you're hungry, but because you're upset, you're stressed, or even just bored. Over time, you should start to see patterns. Okay, step number 2. Pause for a moment. When the cravings hit, take a moment, pause, ask yourself, can you wait for 5 minutes? Use this time to check in with yourself. What am I really feeling right now? What's driving this craving? This might be a useful strategy in breaking the emotional eating cycle early on. All right, step 3, distract yourself with other activities. Instead of turning to food, find other activities that can help you to manage your emotions. This could be physical activities like walking, yoga, or any form of exercise that you enjoy. Also consider other options such as reading, finding a hobby, or practicing relaxation techniques, meditation, or deep breathing. Step 4, practice mindful eating. It's not just about what you eat, it's about how you eat. Focus on the taste, the texture, and the experience of your food. This can help you enjoy your meals more and become more aware of your body's hunger and fullness signals. And step 5, embrace a curious and non-judgmental attitude. Embrace self-compassion when you slip into emotional eating. It's easy to be hard on yourself, thinking things like, here I go again, I just can't get this right. Just remember, we're all human, and we all have moments of weakness. Instead, try asking yourself, okay, all right, why did I turn to food? What was the trigger? This is the kind of self-talk that is not just kinder, it also is more constructive. It's about understanding and learning from your experiences, not beating yourself up. Step 6, reach out for support. This journey isn't one to walk alone. Open up to friends and family about what you're going through. You'd be surprised how understanding they can be. Also consider joining support groups or online communities. These can be safe spaces where you can share your story and pick up some great advice and encouragement along the way. And always remember, asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Step 7, consider seeking professional help. Sometimes the roots of emotional eating run deep and they are too difficult to understand. It's absolutely okay if you feel like you need more than just self-help strategies and support groups. Try to seek professional help from a therapist or counselor. They can provide personalized strategies and support to help you understand and overcome your emotional eating patterns. If you're struggling with emotional eating, remember, you're not alone. Reach out, seek support, and take it one day at a time. If you have found this information helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Health News. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you for watching, and take care of yourself.